So have you ever really like struggled to wake up at 5 in the morning? Like you know you need to do something extremely important right in the morning, but you've never really had a great chance to wake up at 5 in the morning in terms of like you having the right environment or the right mindset and such. Well, this is the video for you. Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan Aquino and I help teach the next generation. So today's topic is something that I've actually been continuously working on to improve over the past couple of years, where I currently wake up around 4:30 to 5 a.m. and there are days where I personally don't even feel like waking up. And some of you may relate to that, where there are days where it could be 6, 7, 8, maybe even a little later, and you don't feel like waking up. And I want to talk to you guys today about some of the stuff that's personally helped me that maybe you could implement as well. So I'm going to go through a bunch of different little tips and we're going to see, and you're going to hopefully get something valuable out of this and maybe even use this yourself. Because I personally do most, if not all of these nowadays. There might be some other extra stuff that I do, but in the end, it's up to you. I don't know how you sleep. You don't know how I sleep. So there's going to be some different things. So let's get right into it. Easiest one that you could do personally is have some coffee or your caffeine, in a sense, where there's energy drink or something along the lines. Have that later in the day. It's because what you want to do is you want to allow your body's natural cortisol levels to peak. That will provide a natural energy boost. If you have it right in the morning, what I have personally found is I still feel like shit throughout the morning, despite having an energy drink that's supposed to give you energy. So nowadays I wait an hour, mostly an hour, and then I'll get an energy drink or I'll go get coffee, and then I'll, get my energy up. And this helps prevent caffeine dependence, and it overall improves the effectiveness of the caffeine. I did not say that right, but we're gonna roll with it. What I have found is when I used to be an instructor long ago, I had too much caffeine and I was too dependent on it. And what can happen is caffeine goes away in your body very slowly in terms of like a half-life cycle. So it's not like every hour you lose. It's like every 6 hours you lose half, and it keeps going down. And if you add more, then that goes on and on. So I was drinking 300. I would have one at like 8, and then I'd have another one during my shift at around 2. So by the time I got to like 10 when I would sleep, I would still have like 200 milligrams of caffeine in my system, and then wake up and do the same thing again. So I feel like it would be a point where I would have maybe 300 milligrams of caffeine in my system, and I would want to be wondering, why can't I sleep? Well, that's because over time, the caffeine will add up. So you want to try and limit it to just maybe 1 in the morning. That's it. 2 if you have to push it. I personally, once it's past noon, I'm not drinking any more caffeine because it'll mess with my sleeping. So have it later, a little bit later when you wake up, and don't have too much of it. And maybe adding a limit. I was like, this time I'm not getting any more. So that's the coffee and caffeine one. Next one, probably a bit more important, arguably, is why do you want to wake up? Why do you want to wake up? And don't tell me it's because you want to wake up earlier from now on. That's not good enough, unfortunately. I'm sorry. It's not good enough. When you say that, there's no real urgency. There's no real reason. You need a reason. You need a purpose to wake up early. So my purpose will change, but the same idea still stays in mind. I have to do work. I have to record. I need a script. I need a source. I need to do this. I need to do that. That is important enough to me that will signal to my brain, hey, it's time to wake up. Let's get to it. If it was some menial task that didn't really matter, then I wouldn't be waking up at 5. I probably wake up at like 6 or 7, which is still good by some people's standards. But me personally, that doesn't work. And it may not work for you either. You may want to wake up early so you can do a lot of work. Because let me tell you, if you wake up early, you're going to get a lot of work done. Ooh, buddy. That's a lot of time that you have before you have to do anything personally. So what is your purpose? You need to have a clear purpose. So keep that in mind. Would be to journal or plan your day beforehand. So I've said this a lot in other videos where you got to plan the day. You have to plan tomorrow today. How did I screw that up? Anyway, you have to plan tomorrow today. Meaning today, you need to make sure you know what you're going to do for tomorrow. So today, I'm probably going to plan to record some more videos for tomorrow. So when I wake up, my purpose is, hey, you got to wake up. So then I know when I wake up in the morning tomorrow, it's like, oh, hey, got to record. So make sure you take a couple of minutes before you go to sleep, maybe around that hour before you sleep normally for your routine, and just kind of give a couple ideas of what you could do. If you have a to-do list, maybe look at those and see, hey, what didn't I do? Let's start with that. What's the most important thing tomorrow? Let's start with that. And that'll give you a bit of a purpose to wake up as well. So those two are kind of linked together, if that makes sense. So if you have a well-structured plan, it makes mornings a lot easier, and the barrier of entry to wake up early is a lot lower, if that makes sense. Now, after that, the controversial one right here, I'm about to get some clapbacks, probably not, but is going to bed early. Now, hear me out. Because I wake up at 5 in the morning, if you had to guess what time I sleep, you'd probably guess wrong still. A lot of people probably guess 9, maybe 8, but I should go to sleep around 7 nowadays, because man, sleeping at 9 and wake up at 5 is not enough time for me. So I have to sleep early to get up early. So if you're thinking, if you sleep at midnight, wake up at 5 in the morning, do that long enough, you're not going to do great. I would know. I did that for a couple of weeks. Whole buddy, by week 2, nope, I was ready to throw in the towel, because that sleep was not good enough. You need to have good restorative sleep. And if you don't have that, you're basically just pissing the day away, pretty much. So go to bed a bit earlier than you think. And it made it a lot easier for me when I realized no one's really doing much after around 8. Everyone's kind of just winding down, getting ready to go to bed. So it's not like if I send a message for business, someone's going to actually do it. No one's in the business mindset. Everyone's ready to sleep. So I just set my time a bit earlier. So I'm out at like 7:30. And then I wake up at around 4:30, 5, get enough time to sleep, enough time to get to work. So think about it. Maybe try sleeping a bit earlier than you think. If you do decide to sleep really early, good luck. It takes a little bit of time to get used to. I would definitely recommend blackout curtains to make it easier, because the blackout curtains make your whole room just hella dark. So it mimics the nighttime. Even if it's like 2 in the afternoon, it'll still look like it's midnight in your room, which is fantastic. After this, what you want to do as well is you want to turn off your screens and put them away. So your phone, your laptop, your monitors, any other type of electronics, you want to turn them off, put them away, because the blue light from them, the screens that interfere with your melatonin production, the in layman's terms, the sleepy production thingy in your body, which makes it a lot harder to sleep. I don't know if you've done it, but when you try and sleep in when you try and sleep in bed with your phone, it's pretty difficult to fall asleep afterwards. And that's because your melatonin production's been fucked by the blue light. So put it away in some faraway land, called probably your desk, your work desk, upstairs, another room. Or if it's your alarm, maybe get a dedicated alarm and put the phone somewhere else. Or if it is the only alarm you have, just put it far enough away where you have to stand up. Because I have 2 of them. I have one that mimics the sun, which also helps us waking up in the morning. And then the alarm is on the desk where I'm at right now. And my bed is on the other side of this room. So I have to physically get up and turn off my alarm. I can't just like yeet something and it'll turn off. No, I have to get up and turn it off. So that's something to keep in mind. Put your phone away. Don't use it as well, a couple hours before you sleep. Try and limit how much electronics you look at before you sleep. It'll make your sleep go a lot smoother. And if you want to still use them, because I know sometimes I want to wrap up some work or finish watching, some course or something. There's blue light blockers. They're glasses, but they're specifically made for blocking out blue light. Maybe invest in those, because I definitely have noticed that improvement. And I personally have an orange pair where the lens are orange, but the normal glasses will still work just as fine. So overall, get the phones out. find ways to block them. I'm pretty sure even the computers and such have ways, but don't quote me on that. And the last thing that I would want to mention is when you wake up, don't give your time to other people, in the sense of avoid spending your morning responding to people. How likely is it that your friends are going to be up at 5 in the morning? How likely is it that your colleagues are going to be up at 5 in the morning? How likely is it that your family members will be up at 5 in the morning? For most people, not likely. Unless they have a job that makes them wake up at 5. They have business, they have school, they have this, they have that. It's pretty rare. I know in my family, I wake up the earliest at around 4. Then my parents wake up at around 6:30. Then my youngest sibling about 7, and the middle sibling about 10. So everyone has different times, but because there's a 2-hour window from me and then my parents, I have 2 hours to myself. My friend doesn't wake up until around 6. So that's 2 hours where I don't have to talk to him, and so on and so forth. Like, I don't have to speak with anyone for a couple hours, so I can focus on just getting up, getting in the zone, getting right to it. And this has honestly been helping a lot. I didn't think it would. Genuinely, I did not think that this last one that I'm telling you would. I thought it was just some BS where it's like, okay, do this in the morning and somehow it'll help you. But because I'm not thinking about it, I actually feel alert. I feel awake. And I think that's what was causing me to not feel like waking up, because I would feel like immediately have to respond to like 17 different emails and like 4 texts from 4 different people. If you don't do that, you're not thinking about it, and you can just delay it to when people are actually waking up, so you can do more work that matters more. And because I've been doing that, been very good for me this past couple of weeks, because I actually recently implemented this. So overall, I mean, these tips, if you put them all together, you got a very powerful system to wake up 5 in the morning, even if you don't feel like it. I would definitely say the most important thing, if you want to wake up at 5 in the morning consistently and without issue, is why do you want to wake up? If you can figure out the purpose as to why you want to wake up, you will wake up. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's important enough for you personally, then you'll wake up. If it's not that important, you won't wake up. So make sure you have your purpose. If you want to learn more about sleeping, improving your sleep, time management and such, there's a link in the description below for a coaching program where we work one-on-one, and I'll do whatever I can to make sure you're an elite level time management person. Thanks for watching.